Oh, sorry. Sound mute network. I was just saying, hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to day two of the day. This is going to be our first session of the day, and we're going to be looking at change point analysis. Uh, yeah, I know, like, yeah. So change point analysis, and then, so as always, we're going to have two sessions, two parts of the session. The first is we're going to have Mr. Practical, like, kind of just to uh, and when yeah, you can just react to that one. Actually, so change point analysis ከመጀመሪያው ምንድነው በሚለው እንጀምር። So change point analysis is like a way to identify a point in time where statistical properties of the time series change. So time series data and then there is some change ይኖራሉ እነዛ ቼንጆች አይደንቲፋይ በናደርግበት እና ፒንፖይንት በማድረግ መቼ እንደተከሰተ ያን ነገር ለማወቅ የምንረዳበት ሜተድ ነው። So it's used to pinpoint where is a change, when a change, when. So it's a when. So it's more, it tells us when the time it occurred. And እሱን በመያዝ ደግሞ what has occurred የሚለውን ደግሞ ማየት እንችላለን። So ለምሳሌ if there was a war, የሆነ ኢኮኖሚው ላይ or GDP ላይ በሚመጣው change, you can tell the impact of the war on the GDP and so on. Or ሌሎች like ውሳኔዎችም ሊሆን ይችላል። So why is it important? So first, it detects shift due to significant events like policy change or economic shocks. So the Great Depression, maybe you can check how it affected the global economy. So soon, like change, you can find it in the statistical data or the model that time series or policy change. So whenever there is a policy change, there normally is a change in the effect ማለት ነው። So causing effect ነው ለማወቅ ይቻላቸዋል ማለት ነው። So ለእናንተ የምታደርጉት እሱ ነው። በዚህ አይደለም you have the data, so, have the data time series data ያላችሁ. So from the time series data, you are expected to find just event-ዎችን so event-ዎችን ለማወቅ ነው የምትሞክሩት። Are looking for everything that you can put or get your hands on, like, and use ብላችሁ ታደርጉት ከሆነ በጣም it's going to take a lot of time and effort. Plus ደግሞ ሁሉም ኢቨንቶች may not have impact on the አሁን ላይ ያለው situation or ደግሞ on the current oil market. ለምሳሌ it could be huge that የሆነ let's say አፍሪካ ላይ like ኦይል ማያመርቱ ወታደሮች ላይ ትልቅ ረብሻ ቢኖር ጦርነት ቢኖር it might not have that much significant effect on the Brent oil price. Then it's occur right on event. So knowing uh, on which time we to see or to look for events is very much important, especially for this case. And it's also critical for monitoring and understanding change in the dynamic system. So uh, what for the future. So as if my understand also patterns tend to just tend to repeat themselves. ፓተርኖች ብዙ ጊዜ የሚታቸው ከሆነ የራሳቸውን የመደጋገም ቴንደንሲ አላቸው which means uh, if you study the effects, the cause and effects that some policy or economic shock have had on the price of the Brent oil for the future, you kind of prepare for similar events. So ለምሳሌ the Middle East የሆነ ነገር ቢፈጠር or የሆነ policy change ቢደረግ you can identify or you can just tell what's going to happen next, just depending on your past knowledge. Of course, it's not always true, but it's better than just nothing. Like it's not always to 100%, but it's really good. So it helps to understand and predict the market behavior, especially for community like Brent oil. So it will help you to understand and predict. So Lord, if it like once I what made it go up and what made it go down. If you know that, you can prepare for the future market. So if similar events happen or similar events occur, you can just tell what's going to come next. So just remember as you sort of physical. Okay, so application is private and ብዙ applications ይኖሩታል, but just to see the few like finance like take the shift in stock market trends. So if you see ለምሳሌ በዚህ currently ያለውን change ራሱ ብታዩት you could have guessed. So you were waiting for Trump to be in office ያንን እንደሚጨምር but there were some hints and so on. Plus ለምሳሌ if you see when DeepSeek was introduced, the stock market trend የነበረው and so on. So these are just patterns that just repeat themselves. ከዚህ በፊትም happen አድርጓል ከዚህ በኋላ happen ያደርጋል. So knowing what made these things happen could save you a lot of money or energy in the future. ያ ነገር happen በሚያደርግ ጊዜ ምን ማድረግ እንዳለበት ስለምታውቁ ማለት ነው. Anyways, and energy, so that's how geopolitical events impact prices. So, especially the oil prices, you can see affecting the goes by wars, like ጦርነቶች ናቸው በጣም ብዙ ጊዜ affect የሚያደርጉት, especially in the Middle East. But much most of it's not the most actually, but yeah, they are the primary forces. So, plus pirates and so on. Yeah. And business impacts helps investors and policy makers make informed decision by knowing what could happen. So types of change in time series. So four types undo the mean shift. So it's sudden shift or a sudden change in the average value. So average now it's done mean shift level is the change in the average value. So it's not a change in the overall data. So there could be some change, small change, but they are always canceling each other. But average በሚመጣበት ጊዜ we say mean shift. Variance shift ደግሞ like change in the spread of the data value. Change alternate global direction of the data, relations, and combination change. So and to the like so there can be one of the two or all three. We could happen ጊዜ ማለት ነው. So we'll see that. So types of methods of change or detection. So ብዙ ጊዜ የምንጠቀማቸው so if it is mean value changing mean or the mean shift ቅድም ያየነው ከሆነ አይደንቲፋይ ለማድረግ የምንፈልገው we can use cumulative sum method or CU sum method. So it's just cumulative ሰሙን ይፈልግና ከዛ ከኮሚኒቲቭ ሰሙ ዲቤት የሚያደርግ ከሆነ or cumulative ሰሙ ከሚኑ ዲቤት የሚያደርግ ከሆነ which is a target value ዲቴክት ያደርጓል። ግን it's not a good thing if it's there is a couple of በጣም ብዙ ትልልቅ ቼንጆች በሚኖሩበት ጊዜ it's not good. It's best for mean shifts. So እናየዋለን እንዴት ጥሩ እንዳልሆነ single change point or few change point ላይ ጥሩ ነው ግን በጣም ብዙ ጊዜ ይሄኛው ለእናንተ አሁን ለምሳሌት ፕሮጀክት is not feasible because you have a lot of change points. The Bayesian change point detection, I believe we're going to have a session on Bayesian detection. So Bayesian, for instance, on third is it's not we're not going to go deep into this one, but it uses the Bayesian inference to estimate the probability of change points. So it's just estimating the probability of change of the points. Again, by time flexible and probability interpretation, I think you have, I believe, you have a session on Bayesian inference. So maybe that we cover directly. But the segmentation technique divides the time series into homogeneous segments. It's faster, but there's a great and it doesn't guarantee an optimized solution. So optimum to underline the change of technology is very, very bad. So of course, if you want to just get started, so how to get started with the data preparation, you have to clean it and associate 100 missing values and do some initial exploration, which is just time series plots to visualize operational changes. So visually image initial exploration, modeling, so apply statistical or Bayesian models, VLCOs, and validation. So እነዛን ቼንጅ ፖይንት አይደንቲፋይ ካደረጋችሁ በኋላ ዩ ካን ጀስት ቴክ ኢንዴክስ በዛ በኢንዴክሱ ዩ ካን ማፕ ኢት ቱ ዘ ዴት ኤንድ ፎር ዛት ዴት ዩ ካን ጀስት ጉግል ዋት ሃፕን ኦን ዛት ዴት ኦር አራውንድ ዛት ታይም that could have affected the price of the Brent oil. So as a last result interpretations, so breathing the change points so much you have to match exact points on the battery index. Mineral ብዙ ጊዜ ኢንዴክሱ ነው so you can take some of it. So since it's map them with the date, from the date you can just look up historical events that the map or is that how actually አንዳንዴ change happens like later than like the event. So maybe you should also take that into account. Assess the impact of these events on the price change. Is it good or is it bad or how did it affect it? Provide actionable stats for the stakeholders. So the challenge handling noisy data, of course, it's always a challenge. Choosing appropriate methods for different running scenarios. So and then I get quite choose. It depends on the type of data, numerical method. So if for instance you can take a look at ቅድም እንዳየነው ሁለቱም ብቻ ራሱ በመውሰድ take a look. So the CU sum or the cumulative sum method is really good, but it's not good for too many change points. It cannot ምክንያቱም የሚሰራው ምንድነው cumulative sum it's going to compare to the target value which is the mean ብዙ ጊዜ so ከዛ ዲቤት በሚያደርግበት ጊዜ okay so there is a change there and it's not that good if there is a lot of change. And interpreting results in the context of external events, it's kind of challenging because sometimes it doesn't have a direct effect. So you wanna even some like silly things could have a big impact, and it's not easy to just relate them straightforward. So, like, yeah. And considerations validates the finding with the domain knowledge and find methods for robustness. Lemon, it's good to take a look at a lot of methods. Yeah, I think that's it. Is it clear, guys? Sorry. Is it clear? Like, you know, actually, is it like you want me to go over some things, or are you good? So, Samal guys, is it clear? I need confirmations to go to the next session. In session. So I'm going to take that as a yes. And I think the next one. You can see it, right? You can see my screen. So it's more of a straightforward, so a lot of time. So እዚህ ጋር የተጠቀምኳቸውን እናውራ. So I just used MYM3. So ይሄኛው sometimes it might not work. It depends on your Python version. So the Python version መሰረት, so you can eliminate the three and just work with PyYM3. So ይሄኛው ነገር የሚያስቸግራችሁ ከሆነ just take a look at it. Okay, so እዚህ ጋርም I think it gives you the highlight of this. Depending on your Python version, you can just change these things. Yeah, okay. So now is just data of the Brent oil price. And here is just change it the date, the date of format that I want. You can see it here. So not much change here. So Zigano. So this is the initial exploration. So you can see the initial exploration. So it is the time series value or plot of the Pareto oil graph. So you can see here, like it has a lot of change points, big ones for the chapter, but actually. So basically, theoretically, the cumulative sum should not be like valid or should not be ideal for this case. So so cumulative sum like the formula might be. So I just got the mean value first, then the cumulative sum is going to be the cumulative sum of the data, which is a price, minus the mean price. So it's a change on mean value. And if you can see it, it's not detecting uh, change points in a good way, right? You can see here, it did not detect anything. So here, uh, uh, it, it has detected, but it has detected just the couple. So here it has detected a change point, some sort of change point, some sort of change point, and so on. So በደንብ እንዳልኳችሁ በጣም ብዙ በሚኖረን ጊዜ it's not going to be good. Okay, so there's a method. So ሁለተኛው ደግሞ በአዘርባይጃን method. So Azerbaijan method. So you have to just initialize the model and the mean prior, the mean that's before, and it's just going to use a district like the uniform change point. So እናንተ እዚህ ጋር መቀየር ያለባችሁ I believe sorry just the sample size with the inference, and you can also tune it, just change the code. But ከዚህኛው በላይ ደግሞ የሚመች አለ። So እሱንም እናየዋለን. But basically it's just to give me the mean prior. So the mean prior is 42. So 94 HDI ያለው. So it has like ብዙ change points ያሉት ያደርገው change point አናሳችን ላይ እንደምታዩት ጊዜ so እዚህ ጋር እንደምታዩት ሚኑን like it is basically equal. የተወሰነ ቦታዎች ብቻ ዲቪዬሽን አለው ብሎ ዲቴክት ያደረገው if you can see it. So it doesn't, it's not identifying it as good as it should. But, so mean like the highest change point አለ ብሎ ደግሞ ያሰበው እዚህ ጋር ነው. So if you want, so you can just take a look at it by using change point index tool 4753, which is the index that it gave me. So we select change allows line. And then when I take a look at it, it's not correct. You can see it. So it's around here, but there is, of course, there is change, but it's not the highest change for yellow. The mean change እሱ ላይ አይደለም ማለት ነው. You can see it. So it's not a good method for our case as well. ግን እናንተ እየቀያየራችሁ you can take a look at it. So my favorite, not favorite actually, my like identify ያደረገልኝ for my case in a really good way was this structure. So this is just I just have the price RE, just unput circuits in the model RBF. So Zigar, I think I believe we have around four models, for three models. You can just change them and take a look at them how they work. But for the I just used the RBF and just Zigar penalty. So by just changing the penalty, you can see how it, so Zigar like penalty means so what's the word? Accuracy now, the number of change points. So there is a trade-off. Sorry, yeah, the word I was looking for was trade-off. So there's a trade-off between the two, between accuracy and the number of change points it's going to identify for you. So as soon identify የምናደርግበት ወይ ደግሞ like somehow ከዳታ ዳታ ይለያያል somehow identify now like ሞዴሬት የምናደርግበት መንገድ is by changing the penalty. So penalty በምትቀንሱበት ጊዜ እና በምትጨምሩበት ጊዜ it has a different approach or result for you, right? So እነዚህኞቹ just the data ነው. So if you can see here, it is much better for this data. Of course, like ቅድም favorite ነው ስል like it's not a good way to say ያልኩበት ምክንያት machine learning or on data science, there is now no favorite model. If you consider a favorite model, like you're gonna be in a lot of problem. If you think of it, every model is good for the right data. Data is going to be good. Then, so the community itself is really good or identifying just changes where changes are not that much. Just few, but I'm few ከሆኑ or just small amount ከሆኑ you can't do that. Plus, the Bayesian inference is the same thing. It just depends on the type of data you have. So don't have a favorite model ማለት ነው. Like even if you see the prediction model option, like for time forest, like forest random forest, the CNN or the non everything like that, they have their use cases. Yeah, and this let's so if you can see here, so it has detected a lot of change points. So if you can see, detect ያደረጋቸው and of course like በደንብ ደግሞ ስፖርቱን detect ያደረጋቸዋል። እነዚህም ነገሮች በመቀያየር you can change the model plus ደግሞ the penalties. You can look at how it works or how it reacts to those things. Of course, ሌሎችንም especially for this project don't use the community stuff, but the Bayesian, especially if you are like under after you have the session on the Bayesian inference, just take a look at the Bayesian method and the rupture method. Just change the things and do that. Other actually human data scope. Yeah. Okay. So is it clear, guys? Okay, that's a good question. So, like the causes, Madam Paragut, so I think it's already actually mentioned in the Chinese document as well. What you do is, so Zigar, I would actually change point to so I didn't try that too. So then there's a change point to so Zigar index on magnet that. So change point to Zigar grab salary sound just give me just give me the detect የተደረጉትን pointዎች you can just take the sorry index the index ከዛ በኋላ ደግሞ ኢንዴክሱን you can just relate it with the time the year and the date and just use that ከዛ በኋላ ጎግል ማድረግ ይችላላችሁ just google what happened on that date ከዛ በኋላ በዛ ምክንያት on this line this happened on this one this happened and so on ያላችሁ you can relate it of course ሚስ የተደረጉም አሉ እሱንም you can is it clear you are yeah yes is that right yes
መጨረሻ ላይ ይሄ እንዳትጠቀሙት ያልከን የትኛው ነው?
Yeah, the cumulative sum like እንዳትጠቀሙት ያልኩት ለዚህ ኬዝ ነው because the data is not suitable for that method. The cumulative sum ብዙ ጊዜ የምንጠቀመው for data that has just one or two or just a few change points. That's all. Would you like that account? Like it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad model. In use case, don't spend time ሌላ ማለት experiment ማድረግ ከፈለጋችሁ please. Okay. Any other question, guys? Okay. Use writing. I'm just saying this. Then share ስለማድረጋችሁ it's okay. I'm just yes. Sorry. Okay.
So ቀጣይ ባይዣን ኢንፈረንስ ኤንድ ሞንቴ ካርሎ የሚለውን ሴሽን አቴንድ ካደረግን በኋላ ይሻላል ወይንስ አሁን ባለው ሜትድ?
No. Like I think there's a misunderstanding. So what I said was this is also a good method. So it's a Bayesian inference, but once you have a good understanding of how this is done, you can just manipulate this and use it very good. ግን like ዞሮ change pointዎችን አይደንቲፋይ የምታደርጉት በእነዚህ ሜትድ ነው. You can either choose the Bayesian inference or the rapture ተጠቅማችሁ either way manipulate አድርጋችሁ you can just identify the change points በዛ መንገድ. I'm not saying that ያኛው ይለያል እያልኩ ሳይሆን እሱም የራሱን የቻለ ነው ግን you will have more understanding on how by the Bayesian inference is calculated. So should we use ARIMA or as a knowledge before taking change points for forecasting? So ሁለቱ በጣም የተለያዩ ናቸው. So even in the question you said forecasting in order to change point analysis. So change point analysis you should do it on the original data. So forecasting is force you to just identify the future, but for change point analysis again from the past is just for you to identify the change points. It's not for the future. For the future, we don't want you to know when you understand what caused what. For instance, if something that like the US did or like the policy that the US made, or change kohona, you can prepare for the future if something similar happens, then your change after your understanding. But it's not for the future, like the forecasting again, understanding. Yes. So I'm saying ለያቸው ነው እያልኩ ያለው. So like I'm not saying ARIMA don't use ይሄኛውን ዩዝ አድርጉ እያልኩ አይደለም. ሁለቱ በጣም የተለያዩ ናቸው እያልኩ ነው ያለው. So this is change point analysis on the past change pointዎችን አይደንቲፋይ ለማድረግ ነው. So ልክ እዚህ ጋር እንዳደረግነው ማለት ነው። So this is what's expected from you. Of course ይሄኛው this is not a perfect way, but እንደዚህ አይነት ነገር የሚጠበቅባቸው which means on the past when did the change happen and what was the cause for that change. But using ARIMA and other forecasting methods is for the future አይደለ? So past to life pattern ነው የሚያጠናው. So it doesn't care about what happened, it doesn't care about the ዜናው ላይ ምንድን ነበር የተከሰተው፣ ይሄኛው ዝቅ እንዲህ ይሄኛው ከፍ እንዲህ ምንድን ያደረገው it doesn't care about that, right? Prediction ላይ the two are different ነው እንዳልኩ ያለው ያው so the two are different. So change point analysis is for you to detect changes from the data. Detect ነው የሚያደርገው. It doesn't predict, it does not use the pattern ያቀላለ ምናምን, but it is going to detect a change. So እዚህ ጋር change ነበር ይላል. So what happened here you're gonna study or you're gonna identify ይሄኛው change እንዲመጣ maybe happen ያደረገው or የነበረው እዚህ አካባቢ. So you can just identify what happened here and what is the cause for this change. And hereም እንደዛው change የሆነ happen አድርጓል event አለ. So that event triggered a change. So what you are trying to do here is identify when the change happened and what kind of event was responsible for that change. But with ARIMA and other prediction methods, you are just predicting the future. So based on what you already have on the present or on the past, you're gonna predict the future. Okay, perfect. Good question. So any other questions, guys? Yeah, yeah, that's not clear. Or is it clear, she? Everyone? Show me some thumbs up, please go on. Or if you have questions, please ask. Okay, I got two. What about the rest? Okay. So I'm going to take that as a yes, it's clear. Okay, thank you guys for joining. I will be sharing the slides and the notebook on the trip. So yeah, college, please reach out to me on Slack. Thank you. I can't have a great day.